In 2 weeks, I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
Yeah, I want to jump on the bandwagon of saying that I regret my vote for Trump. My whole family does. My husband and I own a farm in Ohio that was funded through the Inflation Reduction Act, which Biden signed into law. And now the executive orders from Trump are rolling back all of that funding for us. So now we can no longer afford our farm. And when all that happened, it was like a lightning bolt hit my brain. And I realized that I shouldn't just be voting for myself, that Trump's policies and EOs are hurting millions of people. But it took it affecting me personally to understand what I had done was wrong. And I think it's really important for anyone to come out who voted for him and is now negatively impacted by the executive orders, or maybe you have friends or family, especially in minority communities, who are being very heavily impacted by what's going on right now. So yeah, I think it's time for us to stop being so selfish maybe and to vote for what's best for the country instead of just in our tiny little bubble, because we're all in the same boat now and we're all equally screwed by our new president.
Makes me emotional to know that I ever fucking stood by idly and blind and let that shit happen.
Because I know that I have been a Trump supporter, and I can no longer say that I am Maga. And
I regret my vote for Trump.
I voted for Trump. I'm done. I don't have any more resilience in me.
But we need to encourage these people. Thank you for having the courage to speak out now. It is too late, but now that you're here, keep speaking out and please join us in the fight. That's the only way we're going to get through this, because we have to continue to welcome the people who are going to be suffering along with us over to the side of the fight if we're going to win the fight.
I hate to say I regret voting for Trump, because I still have hope that maybe he'll still give me an advantage and hurt all these other people, and at their expense I'll rise. But now that I'm getting hurt too, why can't he just have more compassion for us, people like me? When Elon Musk gave his heart out to everybody, I was all for it. I'm for mass love. But when he fired me in the IRS department, he's going too far. I voted for you. My grandfather can't pay for insulin anymore. When he wanted to raise all these other medications, my grandfather wasn't on. I didn't care. But now the insulin, Trump, come on, like, I didn't vote for this. Robert F. Kennedy, yeah, I wanted to vote him in so we could take away the unhealthy food out of this country. But when he affected my EBT and I couldn't afford cake anymore, that's not what I voted for. And I hate to say it, but I regret it now. How could he do this? How could he betray us? I know he's lied over and over, but how could he lie to me about me? And lie to them, okay, but like, now that it's me, I regret it. I don't even know why I did it, and I wish I could take it back. As long as none of his policies affected me, I don't care if it ruined millions of lives, I would have been all Maga Trump. But now that it's affected my job and my grandpa's medicine, I'm gonna need to see him hurt more people again so I can feel better about my own life for me to get back on board. And I will get back on board. I just need to see him hurt people again. That's not me. So once you can do that, Trump, I might be back. I might be back. And last, who is it?
It's ICE. Your neighbor reported you.
ICE?
We're here to deport your British wife.
You thought she was safe? They only targeted Mexicans.
Latinos for Trump literally in tears because ICE is picking up their family members saying that Trump betrayed them? No, Trump didn't lie to you. You lied to you. Can somebody tell me a single nice thing Trump has ever said about Latinos? I never recall this dude saying, we love the Mexicans, don't we? So hardworking, so intelligent, they're bringing the best. Said Trump. Never. In fact, white MAGA is calling La Migra on brown MAGA, but Trump didn't lie. Your desire for adjacency to whiteness was the deceiver. These F around and find out stories are abounding, and we ain't even 2 weeks in yet. You got the Fraternal Order of Police upset at Trump because he released January 6ers. Trump didn't lie to you. You lied to you. To Trump's credit, he never said he wasn't going to let them people out. Red State farmers mad at Trump because nobody is there to pick the produce off the vine. Trump didn't lie to you. You lied to you. Trump told you good and damn well what he was going to do with the migrants. The self-deception was falling for them white supremacist dog whistles and letting them trick you into thinking that brown folks was your problem in this country. No. It's always been wealthy white men. The most asinine groups is the black Maga voters who also believe in reparations. And they actually asked me, because of my proximity to Bobby Kennedy, do you think that this administration would have a hearing on reparations? And I'm like, nah, man. These same people act like they don't mind DEI going away because reparations is what we need. I'm like, dude, DEI is the canary in the coal mine to reparations. Didn't you know this? You got to be politically astute enough to understand not only political rhetoric, but political climate. See, it's not about whether or not DEI benefited black people or did it really benefit white women and LGBTQ. That doesn't matter. What matters is they think DEI benefited you. Them getting rid of DEI is part of the political climate that says we're not even going to have the reparations conversation. Didn't you know that only in progressive left-leaning environments historically have reparations conversations even had traction? For example, in 1997, black farmers won a giant settlement for discrimination against the USDA. Who was president? Bill Clinton. When Bush came in, that's when they started having problems even getting the payments that the court said they were owed. You get the picture here? If they not talking about including you, they definitely not going to talk about reimbursing you. The fact that you thought you was going to get cut a check from the party actively erasing your history is self-deception. What is the definition of stupidity? And I know that's a harsh word, but literally it is making decisions that are obviously going to hurt you. And if you don't want to use the word stupidity, use the word magical thinking. And it takes a real level of self-reflection and self-correction to see through the spell that it casts. And if you don't have that, the groupthink and reactivity will take you into a brick wall. Here's the thing about Trump. He's absolutely tap dancing on your amygdala, your reptilian part of your brain. Fear, danger, scarcity, fear, danger, scarcity, and your critical thinking shuts off. Please be a quick study, learn your lesson. We got an uphill battle when it comes to getting this country back on track as the president actively works to knock it off. I'm Theo E.J. Wilson. Until next time.
I'm in 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
When you lose students, you lose funding.
The elementary and middle school principal is Jennifer Blankenship.
Remember, boys and girls, I love you, I believe in you, and I've got your back.
You are acutely aware of money.
Oh, acutely aware of it.
Do you have to be acutely aware? You do. Every year of her 28 years as an educator here, Blankenship fought for every dollar for her kids. How much of this room is funded?
The entire room.
A third of all of Bell County, Kentucky school district funding in 2021 came from federal sources. So this district is listening as incoming President Donald Trump pledges this.
One other thing I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington.
Do you remember those videos he would post wake up with them? As a side note, and then, like I said, we'll dive into all the substance of this, but spit would be like nearly spilling out of his mouth, and he'd record himself, and this did it. This did it for him.
Washington, D.C., and sending all education and education work and needs back to the states.
What exactly that means for a state like Kentucky is unclear. Trump won the state. In Bell County, 84% voted for Trump, yet it deeply relies on federal funding. And that's not unusual. A CNN analysis found the 15 states that most rely on federal funding for its public schools in 2022 all voted for Trump.
And I voted for President Trump.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No, I did not vote for that. I voted for President Trump to make America first again and to improve our lives.
Do you believe that he would cut funding for this county?
I want to say in my heart, absolutely not. I do not think that's what the voters want. If we have federal cuts, then that's going to mean bigger classroom sizes. I would lose teachers, first and foremost. It's devastating for this school in particular.
If these cuts happen, it'll be awful.
President Trump, I'm starting to regret my vote. What? Now? Now you're starting to regret. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I was fine in the beginning. I can overlook, and I'm okay with the blatant racism and the crass sexism and the deranged narcissism and pandering to Nazis and supporting pedophiles and proudly bragging about being a sexual predator and paying your mistress to have an abortion and openly cheating your employees and mocking the disabled and praising murderous dictators and the constant pathological lying, the petty vindictive cruelty, the staggering ineptitude, the unapologetic corruption, the nepotism, the mob ties, the calculated mendacity, ignorance as to how American government works, encouraging violence against those that question your authority, the theft of our tax dollars to pay off your mountain of debt and or go golfing. Did I mention the relentless lying? You're a liar. Being a white nationalist, demonizing immigrants, the obvious disregard of the Bill of Rights, lying about whether Russia had hacked our election when you knew all along it had, then lying about it, the collusion with our sworn enemy and the sworn enemy of democracy, your dereliction of duty, your treasonous activities, and I was with you when you cheated. I was with you when you cheated on your wife with that porn star, the one you compared favorably to your daughter. You cheated on your wife, not the wife you raped, but the current wife who had just given birth to your son. And of course, I was with you when we found out you cheated with the Playboy Playmate, the one you compared favorably to your daughter, not with the wife you have now, but the second wife whose kid you ignore. And of course, I was with you, President Trump, when you took the babies away. You took infants breastfeeding, literally breastfeeding from their mothers and fathers, families who had made this arduous trek to come here and seek asylum. They just wanted to seek asylum. And you took them and you deported the parents, and you took them and separated them, sent the kids hundreds of miles away in a disused Walmart inside of a cage with armed guards pointing guns at them. And then, of course, thus ensuring the private prison contractors Core Civic and Geo Group, who donated heavily to you, can get paid their collective $4 billion in profit. As those toddlers sob and whimper in absolute terror, traumatized for life, of course I was with you with that. But this last omnibus spending bill is where I draw the line.
Quote, Stacey White says she voted for President Trump because she wanted lower prices and to stop fentanyl from coming into the U.S. Now, with widespread federal layoffs and expected cuts, she worries her family will lose their house if her partner is laid off from his government-adjacent job. At the dialysis unit where she works, staff has started doing drills for what to do if Immigration and Customs Enforcement comes to deport their patients. Stacey said, quote, when we said safer borders, I thought he was thinking, let's stop the drugs from coming into the country. I didn't know he was going to start raiding places.
For the first time ever, I regret voting Republican. Lost my job today. Was cut out by Doge. I'd had that job for 20 years. I was part of the Piper study. It's and we were so close to solving this, and now it's. I guess we will never know. It's I mean, we were studying the best way to pickle peppers and how many peppers can you get in a peck? We may never know. We just may never know now. It's I don't know what I'm gonna do.
We voted for Trump because he promised while he was campaigning like a million times that when he got into office, he was going to bring down prices, bring down grocery prices. The inflation has been high ever since COVID, and he promised he would bring that down. But it's obvious to me now that that was not true. Egg prices have skyrocketed. The bird flu is killing all the birds, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything about that. He's stopping disease communications from the disease centers in America, pulled us out of the WHO. Like, how does that help anything? And yeah, all he's been doing is taking away rights and freedoms, or trying to. He's not doing anything about the economy. So yeah, we totally regret our vote at this point. We've had a really tough time here in North Carolina. Half of my house got washed away in Hurricane Helene, and I applied for FEMA assistance and we got approved. But now Trump is canceling FEMA and emergency assistance to people. He's also canceled Medicaid.